What if you had a personal playbook for how everyone on your team operated? That level of insight for each and every person on your leadership team will be a huge accelerator to how fast that you guys can move as a unit. Hi, I'm Nadine from the Vesta Club. I talk a lot about the friction and misalignment that slows your company's speed of growth. And ultimately, that tone and pace is set from the leadership team and how they work, operate, and look to scale the company. So, one of the simplest high impact tools that I've seen and definitely flies under the radar, but it is such a great tool to help build understanding, trust, psychological safety, and ultimately dramatically decrease the almost the feelings of like those soft skills or it's not the right word, but almost those like unspoken pieces that create friction. And ultimately, you would create your own user manual or operating system. So here's the idea. Every leader has their own rhythm, strengths, blind spots, and ways that they like to work, communicate, run their teams, etc. Everyone is different, everyone is human, and we all have our strengths and quirks. So this user guide, I'll just coin that for the purpose of this video, is ultimately a one-page playbook that would be created by each person and each leader who is a part of the team or will join the team in the future. And it is ultimately answering questions like when they are at their best, when they're at their worst, how they show up when they're actually under stress, how they like to celebrate wins, how they like to receive feedback, what their biggest strengths are, what they might be struggling with or what they want to improve on. Could ultimately be like, hey, what I need for my team or what I need for my leader. To sort of like highlight the elements that really help them be successful in their role. And also, I always love to include, something that might not be expected and almost shared as a fun fact. It's also really great to layer on sort of a personality assessment as well, as part of this sort of like user manual, if you will. And you don't have to buy any tools or assessments for this. There's a lot of free tools that can help provide sort of more clarity and insight into personality types, as well as sort of how that translates and shows up for them. And so it's a really great sort of combination sort of package to roll that all in together. I know it sounds super simple, and you're like, oh, duh, no, of course that would be helpful. But it is truly something that helps drive trust. It helps drive alignment and really reduce a lot of that, almost like that space that just like it feels like quicksand, and it's really difficult to sort of like move forward. You'll find that your communication will sharpen as a team. Misunderstandings will drop. You'll probably be spending less time in team meetings and meetings in general, because there is more alignment and the team is operating as a unit instead of sort of siloed leaders. And ultimately less time sort of like trying to corral sort of like side conversations or misunderstandings or different perspectives, etc. So how you would roll it out. So one, agree on what you want to call it and sort of the key sections that you want to do, as well as sort of the personality assessment that you want to include. Always, I encourage founders to lead from the front, set the tone, do yours first, roll it out to your team, share your sort of operating system or user guide, get them to complete theirs, and then book a time for the whole team to come together, whether it's, virtually or in person. But having a live session, an interactive session, is super critical to helping build that trust and be able to have dialogue and understanding and call out, there might be mix on the team as to, some of the team have worked together for a really long time. There might be newer members. And so, hey, this is how I show up stressed. And someone might be like, yeah, and actually, you talk really fast or something along those lines. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll add that. So it allows to really become sort of like a co-creation, really good understanding across the board. And then you'll share these. So share them loud and proud throughout the organization. Anyone who's going to work with you, and as leaders, you're going to work with everyone. So make sure that they are shared. Keep them in a very visible section, whether it's somewhere in Notion or shared folder. And then make sure that everyone who is joining as part of their onboarding is doing this. So again, whatever you want to name it, how I like to work guide, my playbook, your operating system, my user manual, it doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're talking about the things that are super important to each and every one of you. You are also understanding what those amazing sort of superpowers and strengths, while also like the quirks of everyone, and figuring out how to best work with each other. And ultimately, you'll be removing those invisible handbrakes from the growth and the things that are holding your pace and delivery and ultimately your company back. So I'm Nadine from the Vesta Club. If this was helpful, that's amazing. But ultimately, we are here to fire up leadership teams to really help scale with your organization, scale your cultures, and scale your impact. So if this was interesting, please thumbs up, subscribe, like all that good stuff, and keep following along for more. Thanks so much.